Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Tuesday, July 14th, day 8 in the Big Brother house. This is the beginning of the second full week. And I'm going to tell you this much. No major blow-ups or anything in the last 24 hours. We did have our Power of Vito meeting. And Mallory did indeed save herself as expected with the Power of Vito, which means we now have Ashley up on the block alongside of Yash and I have to think of these names. Taylor. I don't have I need to print out my list of all the house guests, right? We've got 17 in there. I'm actually doing okay so far. I'm not messing them up too bad, but I have to kind of pause and think every time when I'm going to say somebody's name to make sure I'm saying the right one. So last time I talked to you guys was before the Power Veto meeting. It got held. Ashley was totally expecting to go up, so nothing went, strange, or no one was blindsided by any of it. The house has seemed relatively calm. There's lots of talking going on. People are gaming. People are talking. People are being reassured that they're okay, right? Yash is kind of the target, I think. But that could be shifting. And again, we're at Tuesday, right? We got until Thursday. And we have a blockbuster that's going to weigh every single until they remove the blockbuster as a thing this season. It is always going to be there. We know that. It's going to be like, well, no matter what I tell you, no matter who the target is, there has to be a secondary target. And I'm not sure who the secondary target is. Between Taylor and Ashley, that's still up in the air. I'm just not sure, and I can argue it in many different ways. So we just need to weigh that out. Be aware. And Yash, by the way, is also not necessarily a lock to get voted out if he doesn't save himself. That is still up in the air. It's a wide open field right now. None of them are presenting as huge problems. Just had a truck lose its tire right in front of me. Thankfully, I was in the right lane and I got over in time. Oh, that was fun. Huge. Interstate driving with cars losing their tires. All right, enough of that excitement. I don't think you heard the boom. But when a truck tire loses its tire, when it blows up, it sounds like a gunshot. And it was literally in front of me in the other lane. Thankfully, the huge chunk of tread did not drift over into my lane. I have had that happen before. Put a good dent in the side of my car. All right. There's your excitement for the day. So, again, Yash is seen as the strongest player competitive-wise, like physical competition threat. And he didn't have any super strong alliances going into nominations. It wasn't close to D, and that's why he's ended up on the block. But since then now, of course, they've had a few more days to talk with each other and work with each other. And Yash, in my opinion, doesn't have any super strong alliance connections. And so he's one that some people want to latch onto and try to bring into their fold. And that's why I'm saying it's not a complete lock that he is gone. He may very well be around, even if he doesn't win the battle back. We'll just have to see. I don't have super strong feelings right now. And I don't personally particularly care who goes, if that makes sense. I don't want to see. I like them all. They're all okay. So Taylor, Yash, and Ashley, as far as playing in the house guests, they're okay. They're fine. They're getting along with everybody. No major drama. I think Taylor's over the fact that Devins didn't hug her or whatever at the beginning of the season. So, and I've seen people kissing up to them. Like Angela and Devins have both spent quite a bit of time talking with Yash yesterday. And I did post a video. I think I posted a 2-part video of Angela talking with Yash. And I called it a masterclass in the way to play the game. And it's really interesting to watch Angela this season. Now, I can't even remember watching Angela's game last season. We started out with her attacking Matt right at the very beginning. She was all over the place and playing hard. She's playing a much more calm, subtle game so far this season, although she has gotten word about Jason. We'll talk about Jason in a second. And there's always the chance for drama. But I think Angela knows that making huge, good TV is not necessarily the way you win $750,000. And I think Angela's in it for the money this time around. So, as much as some people may want Angela to make good TV, I think she's kind of like, I really don't care. At the end of the day, I think Angela knows at this point, she's not going to become a household name celebrity based on her time on Big Brother. She's not going to have some major, massive income stream based on her time on Big Brother. So the best thing to do is to get the most amount of money out of Big Brother you can, and then do whatever else you want to do. And in Angela's case, I think that's where her mindset is. I think that's where several of the house guests, Devin's and Dee's mindsets, they got. By the way, they are getting a little bit more than the standard pay to be on the show, right? I mean, and there is a standard pay to be on the show. They do get a weekly stipend based on, it's so many. It's probably, I don't know. We used to talk about it, and I don't even know where the number is now. I don't know if I've heard an estimate, but let's say for just a regular old house guest, maybe $1,200 a week. It may be gone up now with inflation, but they are getting paid for every week they're in the house, just a stipend. But it doesn't add up to a whole lot in the end, because those taxes have got to come out of that. And I guarantee you that Angela, Devins, probably even Jason, maybe Jason, I don't know. Maybe they said, you got to come in as a regular house guest, because he did come in as a regular house guest. But the fact that Dee, Devins, and Angela are in there as labeled as, alumni, all-stars, celebrities, whatever you want to take it as, they are getting more per day to be there, or per week to be there. If I said $1,200 or $1,400 per day, I meant per week. Let's be clear on that. But they're getting substantially more money just to put their life on holds to be in the house, because obviously they could be doing other things with their time related to television. Okay, so again, Angela, I said I posted a video. She's kind of been putting on a bit of a masterclass on the way to play Big Brother, and it just you watch her and it's like, yep, she identifies with whoever she's talking to. She says, oh, you're like me, or I like your game, or we think alike. It is all of those ways that you kind of bring someone into your group and kind of make them feel like you are with them and they are a part of you. It is having played these games now online, it is something you do. The first thing you do is when you're meeting the people, you take notes. What do they like? What do they talk about? Something that you can identify with to kind of make it seem like, see, we're alike. And Angela has obviously in the last 2 years done a really good job of studying that and is applying it in her game. And she did it great with Yash. I don't know anything. Nobody's coming to me. I don't know what's going on. Oh, help me. I'm helpless. You're going to be my savior. Yash giving her coaching tips on how to interact with the other house guests and what to do and that she's safe and all the. It's when you as a person who's played an entire season of Big Brother are talking to a newbie and letting them tell you how to play the game, and they seem to be thinking that they are actually doing that without your knowledge, you've got them. And Angela did that with Yash. And Yash is telling Angela that he talked with Devin earlier and had a similar conversation. It's like, yeah, because Devin's doing the same thing to you. Devin's is totally making you think that he needs you. And he said, I think he was sincere. I think he was genuine. Yep, he's got you worked. So the alumni, again, I have said I don't want returnees on the show. This is kind of why, by the way. Right here is the reason why I'm really not a big fan of returnees coming back, because they have such a huge advantage. And yes, they have a target on their backs, but they also have a huge advantage because they know how to play the game. But you know what? We as fans got to deal with the cards we're dealt, and I don't dislike any of the house guests that they threw in the house, right? I'm fine with Angela. As much as people are like, I can't stand her, I'm okay with Angela. And frankly, she is showing right now that she's not the same Angela that she was 2 years ago. So all the better. So I like Angela. I definitely like Devin's. I may have watched part of Devin's seasons. I didn't watch any of 50. And I definitely like Dee. And I watched all of Dee's season, but I don't even remember Dee in the game because I was so hyper-focused on Brandon Donlin, and then No, that was the next season that I was focused on Teeny. So once Brandon was out, I really didn't, you know what? No. Once Brandon was off, I didn't watch much of Dee's season. I guess that's what it is. I watched the next season with Teeny and Andy. So I really didn't watch much of Dee's season. Wow. Okay, so anyways, it's okay. I'm okay with these folks. It is what it is. Would I prefer all newbies? Yes, I've already said that multiple times, but it is what it is. So we're playing with the house guests that we have, and I'm enjoying the ones that we have. What else? I need to get my cast list so I can do a rundown of every single cast member and what's going on in them, because obviously there's a lot that I'm not talking about at all, but they haven't impressed me, and there's been nothing in their game that's made me like, oh wow. I'm really focused on this crossover alliance with the three celebrities, Angela, Devins, Dee, and then Barrett, and then Drew. That's the one that I'm hyper focused on, probably to my detriment. I'm not paying as much attention to some of the other folks, but the other folks are still figuring things out. I mean, just last night, you've got Lyric and Melody trying to put together an alliance and come up with the things. There are people that are still trying to form their initial alliance. They're a week behind. This crossover alliance was formed, I think, by Friday. I think by Thursday. I think before the feeds went live, they were locked in. So it may have even been Tuesday night after Dee was head of household. I'm not sure, but it's a huge. You've got to get something going as soon as you get in there, even if it doesn't end up lasting. You've got to get something working, and the fact that you think that nothing is going on is a major sign that you're not paying attention. So other alliances, yes, there are little bits and pieces of them. There are fake alliances being set up. There are, that's the major alliance that I see right now is that one. And then there's this Code Red or Red Corner that is a manufacturer alliance. Now those people are playing on their own too, right? To a certain extent, but and when I say that they play, I'm talking about Camus, Ashley, Rome, and then Devins and Dee. And Devins and Dee are just along with that one for the ride. So, who is it? Rome and Jason and Camus is one of them. There's another one. There's a couple of different other small alliances forming, but we haven't seen a super strong other alliance. And there are people, by the way, lots of fans that aren't happy with that crossover alliance. They want another strong alliance to get two sides of a house going against each other. You do kind of want that. Otherwise, one alliance will run roughshod over the others, and it's just a steamroller of a season until you get near the end. That's not fun necessarily, right? Big Brother 20 was a bit of that, right? They lined them up, they knocked them down, just one after the other. That can make for... It can be fun in some ways, but in other ways you're like, it's not as fun because you know what's going to happen every week. They totally toyed with their evictees every week. That's harder to do now, though, with the battle back, right? Because you got to have 3 nominees. And so, and there's that wild card of that last minute chance to win. So that partly was built in, I'm sure, by production to keep one side of the house from running roughshod over the other. All right, I'm talking a bit in circles. I'm sorry. Angela's talk with Yash last night was really good. I posted a couple of clips. It's like a total of 6 or 7 minutes. Worth checking out. I have not had a chance to look at much what happened after that. They did a whole get together. It'll make the TV show. They all put on, it was started by Barrett and Drew. They were wearing their black tank tops. By the way, the term man beater wife beater, man beater. There you go. Something like wife beater is a term. But you know what? It's the very light, very small tank tops. They were wearing these black ones. They must have had them for a comp or something because everybody put them on. They ended up doing a little dance and games out in the backyard. And then they sang, they were doing the Big Brother tune. Then they were posing for pictures. Then they played hide and seek. It just developed into a whole bonding of the entire house playing around together. It was fun to watch. Very little gameplay going on with all that, but it was fun to watch. And I am sure at least a part of it will make TV. And again, it started out of Drew and Barrett. I think they're the ones that kind of started it, but it just grew organically on its own. It was fun to watch. There was also a conversation later on in the night between D and Devins about the game, and I need to go watch that because that's like two of the biggest players kind of setting up their game, right? So I need to pay attention to that and find it out. I think they talked in partly about maybe trying to recruit Rome, who doesn't seem to have a super strong alliance anywhere. And as much as people wanted to hate him coming into the season, a lot of the fans seem to be okay with him. I'm not sure. He's not bothered me in anything he said so far, but I haven't paid super close attention to him either because a lot of times he's snuggled up with Lyric, and I'm not here to watch two people flirt, except for if it's Barrett and D. I'm fine with watching Barrett and D flirt for some weird reason, so shoot me, whatever. All right, I'm kind of a bit all over the place. Surprise, surprise. I'm enjoying things. I am fired up for this season. I'm going to try to spend a little bit more time, maybe this afternoon, figuring things out, where things stand, maybe print some things out. I haven't been on Twitch at all yet, except for maybe a little bit on Saturday. So maybe I'll try to get online and talk with some of you tonight, this afternoon. We'll have to see. But I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to now go and record a quick little TikTok video and post it. But this is obviously the long form. I don't want to do super long form TikTok videos. So if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, by all means, holler at me online. ilovereality@gmail.com, or you can message me on Blue Sky, at me, talk to me, whatever you want to do. If you leave comments on TikTok or Instagram, I will try to see them, and I will try to reply if I can, but that is the least effective way to get a hold. Well, other than TikTok, Twitter. I have now locked my Twitter account, and so you can message me on Twitter, you can yell at me on Twitter, but I don't even check that maybe once a day at tops, maybe less than that. So that's what's going on. And of course, my patrons, I need to figure out something to do for you guys. I need to give all my current patrons a shout out. That's on my to-do list, so I will try to do that this week yet as well. All right, there we go. It's going to be a hot one here in Indiana. It is 87 degrees at 12:30 in the morning, or in the afternoon now, I guess. That would be 9:30 Big Brother time. Oh, one last thing. They have been getting the house guests up at 8 a.m. for some reason. We don't know why. Today is Latrice's 58th birthday. Thought maybe it was for that, but I'm not sure. They do seem to be getting them, but every morning they've gotten them up at 8 o'clock, whereas normally it's been 9 o'clock. So we're going to see if that's a new trend. Maybe they have a new person in production that decided that 8 a.m. is when we start moving in the Big Brother house. Not sure. We may never know. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.